You know that feeling, right? You promise yourself, okay, tomorrow's the day. You're going to wake up early, you're going to eat healthy, you're going to finally tackle that big project. And then tomorrow comes and it all falls apart. We've all been there. And we always blame ourselves. We think, I just don't have enough willpower. But what if that's completely wrong? What if the problem isn't you at all? Today we're going to explore a completely different idea. That real discipline isn't about brute force, it's about smart strategy.
So, here's the game plan. First, we're going to tear down this myth I call the willpower delusion. Then we'll get into the cool science of why your brain is basically wired to take the easy way out. It's fascinating stuff. After that, we get super practical. I'll show you how to become an architect of your own life and really deconstruct procrastination. And finally, we'll bring it all home with the most powerful idea of all, building a new identity where discipline just happens. All right, let's just start with the question that I think we've all beaten ourselves up with at some point. Maybe after you hit the snooze button for, what, the 5th time? Is being undisciplined, is it a character flaw, a personal weakness?
The answer, and I really want you to hear this, is a huge, emphatic no. Seriously, if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. A lack of discipline is not a moral failing. It is a design problem. You aren't weak, your system just isn't set up for success.
And that idea, that it's a design problem, leads us straight into the biggest myth we've got to bust, the willpower delusion. We're all taught to just try harder or be stronger, but it turns out that's probably the worst advice you could get.
I mean, just think about what you're actually doing when you rely on pure willpower. You're basically trying to fight millions of years of human evolution with a cheesy motivational quote you saw on Instagram. It's a battle that you are biologically programmed to lose every single time.
So, why is it such a losing battle? Well, to understand that, we have to look under the hood. We need to talk about your brain's default operating system, its ancient, hardwired survival mode.
Okay, so there's this key concept called cognitive ease. It sounds a bit technical, but it's simple. Think of it like your brain's low power mode. It's this deep, unconscious instinct to always choose the path of least resistance. Why? To save energy. Your brain isn't being lazy, it's being incredibly efficient. For thousands of years, its job was to save every last calorie in case you needed to, run away from a saber-toothed tiger.
And right here, this is the fundamental conflict of modern life. Your brain is running on this ancient software that screams, survive now, get quick rewards, save energy. But the world we live in now demands the exact opposite, right? Long-term growth, delayed gratification, consistent effort. Your brain wants the quick dopamine hit from scrolling through social media right now, not the delayed satisfaction of finishing that big report that's due next week.
James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, just nails it with this quote. Motivation is completely overrated. It comes and goes. Your environment, though, that's what really runs the show. So, if we can't rely on motivation, what's the answer? Well, the trick isn't to fight your brain. The trick is to work with it. And this is where you stop being a victim of your impulses and start becoming an architect of your environment.
And that brings us to this brilliant concept called choice architecture. It's just a fancy way of saying that your choices are powerfully shaped by whatever is most visible, most accessible, and easiest to do in your immediate surroundings. You can literally rig the game in your favor.
So what does this actually look like in real life? It's all about making the right choice the easiest choice. You want to read more? Don't just stick the book on a shelf. Put it right on your pillow so you literally have to move it to go to sleep. You want to stop mindlessly scrolling at night? Make it inconvenient. Charge your phone in the kitchen, not next to your bed. You want to work out in the morning? Lay out your gym clothes the night before so there's zero friction when you wake up. You're basically setting a trap for your future self. A good trap.
And this is so crucial to get. Those people you look at and think, wow, they're so disciplined. They're not superhuman. They don't have some secret reserve of willpower that you don't. They are just smarter engineers. They build systems so they don't need to use willpower in the first place.
Okay, so you've set up your environment for success. Awesome. But there's still that one huge monster we all have to face. Just getting started. And that brings us to procrastination. The key here is to realize it's not about being lazy. So here's a super powerful technique to beat it. It's called habit stacking. Think about it. Your brain already has these deeply carved neural pathways, these super highways for habits you already do automatically, like brushing your teeth. Instead of trying to build a whole new road from scratch, you just build a little on-ramp. You connect the new habit you want, say meditating for just 1 minute, to an existing habit that's already locked in. And this completely reframes how you should think about procrastination. It's not you. It's not a flaw in your character. It's just a signal.
It's like a check engine light on your car's dashboard telling you that the system is broken. It means the habit you're trying to build is too hard or not attractive enough. Procrastination is a sign to redesign the system, not to blame yourself.
So how do we redesign that system? Well, we can use this amazing, simple framework from James Clear, the 4 laws of behavior change. If you want to build a good habit, you just follow these 4 steps. You make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying.
Let's make this really concrete with studying. The before is probably familiar, right? Your books are buried in your backpack, it feels like a total chore, you tell yourself you have to study for an hour, which feels impossible, and when you're done, there's no real reward. Of course you procrastinate. Now look at the after column, where we've designed it for success. The books are already open on your desk, it's obvious. You pair it with your favorite study playlist, it's attractive. You commit to just 5 minutes, that's easy, and you get to check it off on a calendar, it's satisfying. See the difference? You've just made studying the path of least resistance.
Now, all of this, the environment, the habits, the systems, it all leads us to the final, and I think the most profound piece of this puzzle. Because for any of this to stick long term, it has to connect to something deeper. It has to connect to your identity.
I love this quote. It's so humbling, and it's so true. We all have these amazing goals and ambitions. But on a hard day, when you're tired and stressed, you don't magically rise to meet your goals. You fall back to the level of whatever is easiest and most automatic, your systems.
So here's how the whole thing connects. It's like a domino effect. It starts when you design better systems in your life. Systems that make the good choices the easy choices.
And those systems, over time, build consistent habits. But here's where the real magic happens. Every time you perform that habit, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. You're not just doing a 5-minute workout, you are becoming the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. The habits reinforce a new identity.
And that is the ultimate secret. True, effortless discipline isn't something you do. It becomes a side effect of who you are. The goal isn't to force yourself to be disciplined. The goal is to build an identity where being disciplined is just the natural, obvious thing to do. The behavior simply follows who you believe you are.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought. Every single action you take, no matter how small, is a vote. It's a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. It's not about being perfect, it's just about making sure that at the end of the day, you've cast more votes for the person you want to be. So my question to you is, what are you voting for today?